if you're into dance music, there's a UK style of hard house which took on trance and put trance on top of the hard house sound. It's hard to really determine when that happened, whether it was in Hardbag and the sort of Rollo era or whether it's later. But one of the big people in this was Jon The Dentist. And I think there's some things he's quite interested in saying stuff about hard house, but actually he comes much before that. So I think this is an uncelebrated era which should be talked about more, the UK hard trance scene, which really originates back in the mid-90s, the early sort of shoots of it. And this Jon The Dentist remix of this house, The House Is Surrounded by Lectrolux, was an amazing track for me as a DJ playing stuff in the mid-90s. But I just want to rewind, because I think if people think of Jon The Dentist, they think he appears in maybe 1993 or 94 of the records that they know. And then the late 90s, he's big through the 90s. And then it's about 2000, although there's remixes and stuff of his, he's less prevalent. But actually, we talk about him in the mid-90s, but he's one of the founding people in hardcore when it's ravey and interesting and innovative in a big way. So I'm just going to take you back to one of the best-selling tape packs of the early 90s. Tapes. It's not a tape pack. It's just a single tape. And it's actually a Producer and Groove Rider tape. It's a really interesting tape because Producer plays possibly one of the greatest rave sets of all time. And then Groove Rider is the B-side on this tape. So when you got the Producer and Groove Rider tape, it's Producer which plays on the A-side. That's an amazing set. Groove Rider plays interesting and amazing tune after tune. This is a well-celebrated set. I can't remember whether the promoters said later that they sold 12 or 19,000 copies of the tape. This is before tape packs. Tape packs come later. Individual tapes were all the thing in 1992, so you could just find the DJ that you wanted a set of and go and buy it. So this is Producer and Groove Rider Universe. It says Easy Groove and Lisa. Actually, I'm in the way of that. But here is a track. Anyway, this amazing track. The track list of the Producer and Groove Rider is findable on Discogs. You should literally spend some time, find this set list, go and find every track on here. I mean, look at it. It's Johnny Potato Head was used as an intro, but the first track, Producer, actually plays this Too Extreme theme, 4 Hero Cooking Up Your Brain, DMS Vengeance. These are amazing things. Terrorise Just a Feeling, Low Noise Block, Rave in the Bedroom, which was also played on Radio 1 by Pete Tong at the time. 4 Hero Cooking Up Your Brain, which was also played by Pete Tong at the time on Radio 1. Jobson EMC Extensive Danger Zone, which is only on a promo release of that record, which he had. Multicoloured Lasers, amazing record. Fantasy, Never Try the Hippodrome. Incredible records. When you get into the Groove Rider tape, he actually put the bass drum on Ascendant Masters, which is, I think, one of the best early techno records out there, where it's sort of rave and techno all together. I'm going to skip through because The Men from Del Bosque is where we find the Jon The Dentist on this tape. The track's called El Blandy, and it's inventive and interesting. Let's skip across to this. I'm just playing everything off YouTube today, but it's got the more sort of rolly version of the Amen. It's got interesting percussion in here, amazing synths. Cool rhythms. It's amazing. It's made by Jon The Dentist and 2 other people, one of which is HMS, who later goes on to, I think, really spearhead some of the harder records in the UK. I remember buying the sort of harder techno stuff, and it was all appeared to be coming from Scotland, from Scott Brown and people like that, and from Europe, of course. But HMS is spearheading that as well. and together they make the Men from Del Bosco. And so Jon the Dentist's early work, I just think is no one says, "Oh wow, Jon the Dentist from when hardcore was really inventive." They say, "Oh, Jon the Dentist, hard house or trance or something." But the reason I'm here today is to talk about the house that surrounded Jon the Dentist remix, which is, I think, the winner of the mid-90s amazing sort of tunes. It samples this, the 45 King, the 900 number. Obviously, he was remixing something, so the vocals probably already existing in the original track, but here's where this is sampled from.
Do not try to test me, yo, I'm known to get messy. Got my 9mm and my 9 in my speaker. My 9-inch Peter when it's time to get sweeter. I'm known to put my dick, I put it in a sucker's mouth. So step up to me and take you out on the double. You're a pebble, I'm a boulder. I will mow you over for fun.
Anyway, son. And then this record. So with all of that in mind about his old school stuff, this is really cool. For the time, the production is incredible, and I used to drop this way later than when it was out. So I was playing this. Well, I probably would still play it now. I am playing it now. That's it. So amazing hard housey sort of feel to this, but also it's got the breaks in there, and obviously I come from early dance music. That's where a lot of my influences and listening is from. I mean, I was 14 when he did that Men from Del Bosco track. It's probably 18 when this came out. Great sense here. And the acid's back in, and it sort of rises to a big crescendo. And basically, I think this is an unbeatable record of the time. And it's taking its influences from everywhere, and things do stuff that this does much later on. But the production, as I say, is incredible for its time. So hats off to this remix. Doesn't seem to be on Spotify, which is why this video is not about a Spotify playlist. But there we go. Hope you're enjoying your day. It's the 6th of Jan. 2026, and I'm just having a bit of a retro moment. I should have held this up to show how battered my copy is. Loads of my records are in really good condition because I collected things like techno, but never really played techno out. But this is absolutely battered, which is quite unlike me to have battered records. It's not too scratched up. Someone probably has a better copy if he wants it run in and sort of tidied up. I've seen on YouTube a lot of the original mix is credited as the original mix, but it's the Jon the Dentist remix, and I did have to double check. This does say Tech 04B1, and on the little list it says Jon the Dentist remix. And a guy called Chris Harvey engineered this. And I believe Chris Harvey's something to do with the earlier work on TEC. So this is on TEC Records, which is True Love Electrical Communications. Is that right? Collective. Goodness knows. Anyway, this the guy who engineered it seemed to be part of the original part of this, which starts off with the candy stacking bootleg, which in itself is a whole minefield of samples, because the original bootleg was done by somebody else of the You've Got the Love and the other track, which is fitted together, and then that was sort of redone and released, and I think sort of originating the new mix from the UK, but that's a different story. Anyway, yeah, have fun. Take it easy.